The only thing that's going to change white people in this country is when you get a fraction of what it's like to live like a black person. That is the only thing that's going to move you. Because that's what we've done as white people, as a majority, for the last 400 plus years. Is that white people stood by and created this white supremacist country that only benefited white people. And while black people were hanging from trees, beaten, segregated, weren't given citizenship, couldn't vote, couldn't own land, paid less, looked at differently, when women had black babies ripped out of their fetuses and babies were used as alligator bait, you know what white people did? Hey, sucks, but hey, I got a better house. I got more money. I live in a better neighborhood. I'm not going to sacrifice my white privilege for somebody that doesn't look like me. I'm not willing to give it up. And for the first time in the history of this country, white people are finally starting to realize why America's not great and why it's never been great, except for white people. And if you don't like that, you can ship your ass back to England where you came from and get off of this stolen land. Because that's a fact. It has never been great for everybody. It wasn't designed to be great for everybody. A couple years ago, I noticed a bubble in my wall. I didn't know what it was, and I cut it open and it was water. For months or years, I don't know how long, it had sat inside the paint in the drywall, and it had turned into black mold. That is what white supremacy has done to this country. We have let white supremacy go untouched, unaddressed. We've ignored it for 400 plus years because it didn't affect you. And now it went from a white hood to a red hat because we as white people did not properly punish the Confederacy. And they went from a white hood to a red hat. That's all this is. I don't know how much clearer I can be. The news is lying to you. Podcasters are lying to you. Content creators are feeding you bullshit to make money off of your outrage and your clicks and views. 77 million people voted for a white man who was a rapist, who was very likely a child molester. At the worst, he is defending child molesters, had dinner with white supremacists, literally lied about an election, and sat on his fat ass shitting his diapers while officers were beaten. A literal convicted felon who's posting memes about Barack Obama as monkeys. Told people to inject bleach. And 77 million people said, oh, the white man. Wait, let me think of a reason why I can't vote for the black woman. That's what it was. She was the most qualified candidate in the history of the United States of America. But because she was black, that's a bridge too far. You don't believe me? Maybe you'd like to explain to me why we're such a great country. We've never had a woman president, even though 51% of our country are women. And we've only had one non-white president. It's almost like that's what I'm talking about. And those same people that said, I don't want open borders. I don't want the brown people here. I want them here legally. You voted for a rapist and a felon who caused an insurrection, who defends child molesters. Somehow that's okay. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the color of his skin. But somehow undocumented immigrants are being murdered by ICE agents right now. Over 50 have died in these concentration camps. Children are eating maggots and broccoli and moldy bread. Women have lost their pregnancies. People aren't getting the health care they needed. Officers are taking bets in some of these camps, up to $500 pools. Who's going to kill themselves next? The president literally bombed a school in Iran by accident. Shit, my bad. Shit happens. What are you going to do? And 170 girls in Iran died. And the most that white people are willing to do are no kings protests. Now, let me be very clear. I'm all for peaceful protests. But if the most you're willing to do is a whole 8 million people out of 340 million people are willing to get off your lazy asses on a Saturday outside of working hours, then you really don't give a shit about fixing this country. You're too damn lazy to care about anybody but yourself. Every 4 months, that's the best you got, America. Just today, a 26-year-old young man was murdered in Maine. Has a social security number, has a wife, and a 3-year-old little baby that will never see her daddy again. All he did was go to work. And ICE agents said, whoa, he's not white. He might be the guy we're looking for, and he wasn't. And they shot him in the back of the fucking head. And while he was bleeding, instead of giving him help, they drug him out of the car, handcuffed him, and left him there on the ground for 5 fucking hours. So that's the question, white people. What are you going to do, huh? Going to go to work? Going to go watch Supergirl? Watch Netflix? There's nothing I can do, Paul. I'm poor. That is such horseshit. Do you know how good you have it being fucking poor in America? Are you called the N-word? Is your house redlined? Are you paid less money? Do you have to give the talk to your kids so when they get pulled over by white cops at night just because they're black? Do you have to do that? Were your parents, did they have the right to vote? Were your great-grandparents in somebody's will as fucking property? I'm sorry, it must be really hard being poor. Paul, you don't understand. I'm poor. I can't afford to go on a general strike, and I can't afford to be uncomfortable, because that's what it's about. That's why we're here. And the one good thing about Vice President Harris losing, the only thing, is that this country has an opportunity to finally make this country great and deal with white supremacy, MAGA. Are you going to? Or are you still going to make bullshit excuses and just say, I'm going to vote in the midterms? Because if you think that the Democrats are going to care about you and I, you are sadly mistaken. The Democrats winning in the midterms won't fix a goddamn thing in this country. It will not address why we're here, which is white supremacy. That's just an excuse for white people to sit in their privilege a little bit longer. And you hope and pray that if the Democrats win, it won't be as bad. Evil succeeds when good people do nothing. White supremacy flourishes when white people sit in their privilege. We will not remember the words of our enemies, rather the silence of white people. Just like the 3 officers that stood by and watched George Floyd get murdered by that piece of shit Derek Chauvin, may he rot in hell next to Lindsey Graham. Your silence is complicity. That is privilege. So that's up to you, America. You have 2 options. You can continue to sit in your white privilege on your lazy asses, making bullshit excuses about your financial situation. And by the way, how many of you paid $10,000 or $20,000 to go watch the Knicks play in the finals while people are in concentration camps? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're complicit too through your silence. Because if this country really wanted to change, the athletes, the coaches, the people in the stands could have said, you know what? There's more important things in this country than a goddamn basketball game. We're not going to play until people are treated with respect and dignity, and you close down these camps, but you didn't because of money. This country loves money more than human beings. This country loves guns more than human beings. And that's a damn shame. You want to be great, America? Then you got to be willing to sacrifice. Because black people have done that shit for 400 years. It's time that you sacrifice your comfort, that you piss off your mom or your dad or your MAGA brothers and sisters or your cousins. Go put your flag upside down. Piss somebody off today. Take a stand. Be uncomfortable for once in your life. Go follow John Lewis or Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks or Harriet Tubman or Colin Kaepernick. They just wanted to be treated equally to someone that looks like me. And you're not even willing to sacrifice your financial discomfort. You know the ironic part? Is Albania. They earn $900 a month, US dollars on average. That's what they make. They are poor. 20% of their country live in poverty. And you know what they've done for the last month? 20% of their population-ish. They protested every day to stop the Kushners from building a resort on their island because they want to preserve and protect their damn country. They're coming together, sacrificing their financial status for the better good of their society. And while immigrants are being fucking murdered, handcuffed while they're bleeding from their head, sorry, I gotta go. I got a 3:15 showing of Supergirl. Oh, shit, I got to go watch baseball. Sorry, I got to go to the finals. There's just nothing I can do. And if this country fails, it's going to be because people that look like me were unwilling to give a shit about anybody else that doesn't look like me. Have a white day.